One, and you should be going.
And welcome back to Oasis Valley Mysteries. And oh shoot, I never came up with an arc name for this. My bad. But second session into our brand new arc after dealing with the full moon and the associated werebeasts and weaponized chimeras. In the week since, they've had a fairly peaceful, you know, couple weeks until Hanzo was alerted to some corpses being found stripped almost completely of flesh down to the bone and gristle, which, but leaving oddly no trace of what they were beyond just seemingly a homemade container, a specimen container, and a note signed by someone named V, or with the signed with the letter V. Don't know if it was a name or a title, but eventually, following some also following up on cases where some animals were found stripped of meat in similar ways, you all managed to discover, well, mostly Olivia managed to discover, as responding to what was believed to be a snake in a chicken coop, you discovered that the new threat was a strange amorphous blob that seemed ravenous, stripping creatures of anything edible down to the bone and feathers in the case of the chickens. But in trying to contain it, you also discovered that this blob can split up seemingly, as it was revealed that this was a macro swarm, an endofauna organism made up of a made up of hundreds to thousands of swarming ants that move as a single collective unit. And after a somewhat painful encounter, um, mostly thankfully to luck and the assistance of the teenager at home, you're able to drive off the swarm with little more than a wounded leg. The organisms escaping down into the drainage tunnels. But with you off at the hospital, uh, the rest of you, uh, yeah, Hanzo, you went in. Jesus, sounds like the small dog got trampled by the big dog as they're coming in.
Jeez.
Oh no.
It was a very familiar squawk. That's what happens when you have a rat terrier and a Great Pyrenees living together.
Yeah.
But the Hanzo, you were called in, seemingly finally off of parole or probation, I guess, and assigned to investigate further, especially since Detective Bentley had been the one to tip you off on this new mystery. And through it, you learned that it seems that vultures across the valley have been happening upon bad luck as they've been discovered. Uh, most cases slain by endofauna they had been trying to transport with whatever containing them seemingly sabotaged. According to also investigations from Johanna, as she discovered or Agent Wakefield, as she discovered a escaped scorpulidite in the river, a slain scorpulidite from the river. Sorry, I'm getting tangled up. That had escaped from near the dam where it had killed the poacher trying to transport it before being slain by the man that you had rescued previously from a much larger scorpulidite. This one a younger and smaller than the uh, quite shockingly large specimen that you had first dealt with. But you all managed to gather up as Carlos, you and Tommy decided had some bad ideas, not bad ideas, some bad feelings as you realize that the way everyone had split off, that something was afoot, and you ended up encountering the Fred and Winifred both on the way after. Fred, on his nice day off, using most of his paycheck to procure a nice set of steaks for himself, fell victim to the macro swarm as it swarmed across the backyard of Winifred's property and knocking over the barbecue, stealing the steaks, and then moving on like nothing, like it was just picking up a snack. But
Bastards.
Because it was.
All
Yeah,
that money
and-
wasted.
And gathering up, you followed Hanzo to the original crime scene to investigate. And in that, as most of you had gone inside to search the house, Fred, as he is wont to do, started taking a look around on his own, wandered into the backyard of a neighboring house, and upon stepping onto the porch, something had started to drip down on him, but bouncing off of the leather of his bright white leather motorcycle jacket. He turned around and saw that was another mass of this macro swarm clinging to the ceiling as it dropped down, trapping him or cornering and trapping him. But as we left off, Fred, you heard a voice go, "Hey, Fred," as you look down and see a little garden tools chest. Plastic, little more than like 2 feet tall, maybe like 3 feet wide. The lid pops up just enough as you see a kind of dusty fire extinguisher roll out at your feet as this macro swarm starts swarming towards you. What do you do?
She said there's a fire extinguisher?
Yep.
I grab it and I use it.
Okay,
I blow it on the swarm.
kick some ass, please.
Thank you, disembodied voice!
Oh
Well, that's not good.
no.
I got a 6.
6.
It's a failure, I believe.
Yep. You get your ass kicked instead.
Yep.
So you pick up the fire extinguisher and start fumbling with it. Probably shaken at seeing this mass starting to swarm towards you. And it seems that this thing has maybe seen better time. It's a little rusted as the pin is kind of stuck there for, as you're trying to pull it and you're jittering it. And Winifred, you are able to hear this as Fred suddenly screams as a pseudopod of this macroswarms whips out and coils around his ankle, starts going up his pant leg. And you feel that burning sting. You would take 1 point of damage.
Oh, fuck! That's alright. Oh, God.
I will start heading that way as soon as I hear that.
Yeah, because you were looking for him, I believe.
I believe so.
I think so, yeah.
Because you realize that Fred likes to go off on his own, and sure enough, you hear that kick dog yelp.
No! Alright.
And let's see, Tommy, Carlos, and Hanzo, you were inside, yes?
Yes.
What were you up to, Tommy?
I guess
I thought
sitting
Tommy
inside
was helping
eating.
me out.
Yeah, I honestly can't remember. It's been a while.
Yeah, because you went with Carlos and met up with everyone and went to the crime scene, I believe. But yeah, Carlos, you picked up an ant that had been crushed under like a piece of furniture when the guy had stumbled out.
Yep.
Right, that's what had happened.
So the three of you were inside looking around when you hear kind of distant that shout, Tommy, you'd probably hear it better just with your supernatural senses. But yeah, Winifred, you dash around the corner of this building and you see Fred with a fire extinguisher clutched in his hand, frantically kicking his leg, trying to kick a swarm off at Macroswarm as it's like oozing, trying to engulf his foot. Thankfully, not the same size as the one you saw by your place.
Okay. Would I
This
be...
one is more. This is more like the size you would encounter down in the superorganisms.
So would I be able to grab that fire extinguisher and use it?
Yeah, you'd probably have to like jump up over it to get to Fred, or like wade through it, but he'd be able to toss it to you.
Okay.
I mean, you've got vampire speed and agility, so yeah, you'd be able to get it.
Okay. Well, Pixmas then. 7, 10.
10?
10.
Okay, you get 10 plus. You choose an extra effect. So gain advantage to gain +1 forward, or give +1 forward to another hunter. Like terrible harm, suffer less harm and retaliation, or force them where you want them.
Force them where I want them, which is away from Fred and probably in the corner of wherever this is.
Okay, yeah, because you're on this like dusty porch, backyard porch. The back door is like the sliding glass door. It's seemingly locked. The place is empty. But when you grab the fire extinguisher from Fred, you have no problem breaking through the layer of rust that had in the pin as you crack it open and aim it, and Fred, you are just suddenly engulfed. Your leg is engulfed in pain, but then suddenly you are just suddenly. You are doused with the fire extinguisher, but it's hard to tell really because your leg is in so much pain. But as you look down and kind of sputter, Winifred, you're able to see that this thing is recoiling violently from this, chemical assault, and it recoils back away from Fred. And it's like you're start pushing it back into like the other corner of the patio.
Right. I'm gonna
Patio, porch, whatever.
I'm gonna whistle really loud so everybody knows where we are, in case they didn't hear Fred.
Yeah, now you hear the whistle.
Fred's
Yeah,
call
gonna
brave.
Fred's
hop onto that.
Okay, so the three of you go dashing out then.
hmm
Okay, and you whip back around, and Winifred, because you you rolled well. This thing seems to be very much not enjoying the fire extinguisher, as it's like bunching up, almost like condensing itself into a corner, trying to limit its exposure to this.
You really don't like this.
But it seems ready to, you're not sure if it's just like getting, if it'll stay there or if it'll lash out, if you keep it up.
Well, I'll keep it up for now until everybody gets here. And maybe somebody will have some sort of containment for it.
Oh God, imagine trying to contain one of these things. Wonder what could go wrong.
I mean, what could go wrong is what happened.
That's my point, yes.
So, yeah, Carlos, Hanzo, Tommy, you run around and you see Winifred hosing some dark shape on the patio as Fred limps out into the sunlight.
Well, since the fire extinguisher is being used already, not sure if the rest of us have an appropriate weapon. to deal with this.
Yeah, I know I don't.
Carlos probably has some kind of magic to lock them down, though. If they are a single organism, maybe it's easy as just locking down one creature instead of hundreds.
Oh, that would be annoying. Swarms would be even more overpowered.
Carlos do be magic though.
Yeah, if they want to move
you're
and
like-
operate as a single organism, they're going to be subject to single organism spells.
I appreciate that everyone's like, oh, maybe he can lock him down, and I'm just sitting over here. It's like, I have a built-in bug zapper, yes.
Is it just? Are you just going to do the Beelzebub thing where you lightning channels between your devil horn, finger gesture?
God, there's like 3 people who did that all at once.
I know, it was amazing.
That's a good question.
It's a good question,
Yeah.
Mega Man.
What do you do, Carlos?
I think I'm gonna run up and I'm gonna try to go ahead and build a Faraday cage around the swarming mass out of electricity.
I hope they don't dig.
They're on a porch, so I would be
Yeah,
impressed.
they're on concrete at the moment. Because the porch is just like a flat slab of concrete. I'm basically imagining like the one from the neighborhoods of my youth.
But also they're ants. They're
Yeah, we would only have to
very
worry
expensive.
about that in case it was the fucking gopher tortoise.
The mortises. The
The
mole
what?
tortoise. The mole tortoise. They're one of the diggers in the superorganism.
Oh, okay.
They're giant desert tortoises that dig around, big old spikes on their front limbs, almost looking like a Monster Hunter critter, and they just kind of burrow around.
Oh, Olivia loves those.
Yeah, they're one of the popular. They would have been like one of the popular things on that Chupacabra kids show with the
Oh,
ranger.
yeah.
So like
Olivia's
10
childhood
for a magic.
favorite.
And you can either
Chupacabra's her
argue it
favorite
as
thing in the superorganism. But God, it's so hard for her to choose.
So 10 plus magic works without effect, or without choose your effect.
so it's, do you want me to roll it as an attack or a, hey, I literally like snap my fingers as electricity jolts out and forms a little cage to try to keep it from eating our friend?
It's up to you. Your choice.
I would like to put it in a little electrical cage to keep it from eating my friend, because inherently it is just a bunch of ants.
Okay. And So oh well, yeah. One of the effects is trap a specific person or monster for magic effects. So yeah, you. What kind of do you listen to for this, Mr. Cassette Wizard?
Oh, I haven't updated the playlist in a second. What would be a funny
calm down,
speedy
there,
hairband
man.
song?
Ride the Lightning by Metallica is an easy choice.
That's an easy choice.
There's so many
But
lightning.
I think
music.
Thunderstruck by AC/DC is a
Oh
little
yeah,
more
that's also.
would be a little more appropriate in the setting.
Yep.
The situation. Apologies.
Yeah, that's true. So, yeah, it's not very flashy, the long-term effect, but you do, you shoot like what looks to be like a little lightning bolt Tesla arc from your fingertips at this, and the mass seems to quiver and then quiver and then recoil and then seemingly condense, and it's Winifred, when you stopped with the fire extinguisher, because it wasn't a very large one, it was like a small home emergency one. But when you pull back, you see this thing does try to like surge back out, but it's like watching a web of static zaps just kind of flicker across it, and it's just kind of trapped there as this mostly unseen effect of just little static cling is seeming to keep them stuck there in this little, not little. It's like a 1.5, 2 foot wide mass.
Mhm.
Damn.
But you have successfully trapped it for now.
Good.
I got it held in spot. We probably should get it in a box or something.
Was it remarked earlier that they shut down in cold?
No mention of cold specifically, but if
Would that be a safe bet because they're bugs?
probably in the interior of the superorganism is very hot and humid.
Yeah, maybe continue spraying them down with the fire extinguisher will.
Although, except that's not fire extinguishers don't do like cold damage. That it's
That's right.
yeah, because this wasn't like a foam extinguisher. This was like a the kind that does the like it kills off the oxygen, like smothering it with.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, and you would think, or you would, I'll just say Hanzo, you would probably extrapolate considering the item you were given. This was probably very overwhelming to their pheromonal communication method.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Fred.
All right.
Fred, you will also, like Olivia, have that little -1 to ongoing with like relevant rolls. Like if you have to run or something.
Yeah, that makes sense. That hurt like a bitch.
Yeah, your leg is swollen. It's itchy. Yeah. You're gonna need to get that cleaned and looked at. But what do you do now?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Now that the bugs are locked down, we need to find a way to seal them up. Since we are at the initial crime scene, I'm gonna quickly go back, poke my head back inside. Did the police remove the glass aquarium that broke?
No, that is still there. It's still like tagged as like evidence.
Mhm.
Or, like the area is still marked as like a crime scene.
Well, I'm sure the Detective Bentley will understand.
Yeah, there's the glass container on the kitchen table, and then there's the pieces, like the 3 pieces of glass on the floor.
Yeah, and how was the container compromised to begin with? Did the glass shatter, or did they just escape through a improper lid?
So, go ahead and roll me to investigate.
Yeah, yes. I remember there are things I must roll in this game sometimes.
Yeah, there is.
Also, Tommy.
Huh?
Could you also roll me an investigate for just reasons?
Hey.
Investigate a
Give me
mystery.
second.
I'm sure that has no repercussions at all.
It's fine.
Investigate is a +2.
Oh.
That is a 7.
That's
Hey, I get to
still...
level up.
I mean, that's not a failure. A 7 is a hold of...
Yep.
7 to 9 is a success. Oh, but
But
that was one of your marked.
Yes.
Nice. So, I guess that would be like what happened here for this. And as you look at this glass, it's, you kind of as a type of glass that's very sturdy. Olivia, you're crinkling a bunch.
sorry.
Okay. But it's you recognize it. It's a type of glass that's meant to be very sturdy, and as you see it on the ground, it seems shatter resistant. And as you pick it up, you take the pieces and you realize that they would fit fairly neatly into the empty pane.
Mhm.
And as you push them together, you realize where like the crack splits, like where the pieces come together.
Mm.
It almost looks like a drill hole, right where that point, because it's like where the 3 points should meet together if this was like fractured cleanly. Those pieces are missing, and then as you look at it, the edges of it look rough. But as when you look, you realize it's from the outside. It's not like the ants drilled their way out. It looks like something weakened the glass itself, and perhaps just whatever force these ants could push, or this macro swarm could do, especially with how big this container is.
Mhm.
There was probably a lot of force they could put, and that was just the one fracture point that they needed.
So, yeah, like they didn't break the glass on their own. They just kind of managed to push on the cracks.
Yep, that would be your guess. And it looks like, because it's not like there's like broken glass around the frame. It looks like they pushed enough that it bent the frame, the pane out of the metal frame that was welded together.
Oh, the mystery deepens then, because clearly the box was sabotaged. But gonna call out to Carlos. Are you? How does your spell work? Do you need to like sustain it, or can you help me here?
GM, how does that work?
No, I'd say you'd probably need to stay there to maintain it. You're not sure how long it would be, without you there to like reinforce it if something started to go wrong.
It would be better if I stayed here to make sure it didn't fall apart. I might not fall apart, but that's a might.
And you would know that these containers are based off of specimen containers manufactured by Pluripotent. This is like a homemade, not bootleg version of it. Still good quality, but not Pluripotent made.
It's not licensed.
Yeah.
In that case, Winifred, come and help me. Let's move this. Let's move this cage outside. Try to force them in.
Yeah, and Winifred, because you would know, because you've had a deep range or like specimen collection. There's like glass cases you've had to haul down and shove things that weren't too happy into them.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll help him bring that down there.
Yeah, it's not going to be able to conceal it because one pane is gone, but you could scoop it up probably.
Yeah. Just a temporary means of holding them.
Hey, Tommy.
Yo.
Could you roll that investigative mystery for me, please?
Oh, yeah. I got a 3.
Around this. A 3? Okay, never mind.
Mm-hmm.
No reason.
Got a 3?
Yes! I got a 3!
God damn.
That's not even with negatives either.
Shady, what deity of luck did you piss off?
I don't know. Probably the same one I pissed off to drop that mac and cheese.
Oh,
no.
no. Oh, I'm sorry, Shady. Next time we meet, I'll get you macaroni and cheese.
Excellent.
You have to. One of us will have to remember that.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Huh?
No, I was just going, oh, shit. Continue.
Okay. So you, Hanzo and Winifred, you carry this tank over.
Yeah.
Okay. And with Carlos's help, you're able to, because it's pressed up into a corner, so it's it's a little difficult trying to maneuver it in there, but with Carlos maintaining it, it's much easier than trying to get an aggressive, flowing blob into it.
Mm-hmm.
You have it pressed into the thing, and do you like press the broken end against the wall? It's still
Good question.
contained by Carlos's magic if he keeps,
I'm
use the
doing my
D&D term concentration.
That's a good question.
'Cause I'm just saying, you would be able to call in and get one from the pluripotent sent to you.
Yeah, it's just a matter of I don't want them to be here while Carlos is literally casting magic.
Yeah, that's fair.
I appreciate that.
Oh, well, wait, no, I should let you guys figure this mysteries out. Continue.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Well, clearly, since they dropped down from the wall, they're pretty good at climbing. So pressing the missing pane against the wall probably would not keep them in.
Well, if
And you said the
tip and it
entire
makes it-
pane is missing, or is it just broken?
It's missing. It got pushed out, and the frame is a little bent. But
Uh-huh. Well,
like the rest of it's intact. It just will need a new pane hammered in.
open to suggestions.
Are there any TV trays around?
TV trays not quite, but I mean you're by a house that it's empty, but there's
someone used
well
to live there.
oh wait, there is that chest, that little plastic chest. That would probably cover it. You take off the lid or something.
Yep, it'd be Carlos would go over there, take off the lid, and using the magic to help push the ants into the tube, put the lid down on top of it, and
Yeah,
all
so
good.
you gotta tip it on its end because it was like if it's a rectangular box, it's like one of the smaller, one of the ends got bust out. But tipping it on its side, you put the plastic up, like you're trapping like you're trapping a bug in a cup before you toss it outside.
Mhm.
So macroswarm contained. You're not sure how well that kind of old plastic might contain it, but it's sitting there at the bottom of it, seemingly subdued, still subdued by your magic, but
Well, at least if the cage is covered up by the plastic, they're not immediately going to see fucking magic is happening, so I'm going to call it in.
and yeah, when you opened up that chest, there wasn't really anything else in there. There's like a little gardening fork, pretty rusted.
Fair enough.
Who was your savior, Fred?
I'm not really sure. Just a disembodied voice. You know how it is, I suppose.
Do you tell anybody that since the lady's not there?
Oh yeah, I literally I explained what happened. Matter of factly, like, yeah, this makes sense with all that's happened to us.
I would be more concerned if I had not done the same with the giant 40-foot long, nearly blind crocodile monster.
What exactly happened to you, Klutzelman?
Well, I was out here, got attacked by ants. Disembodied voice said, "Here you go, buddy. Take this." And it was a toy box with a fire extinguisher in it, and used a fire extinguisher. Fucked up real bad. Did not really accomplish much. And then you guys saved me. So
I see. Keep an eye out then. But yeah, just gonna call it in real quick on my phone that managed to capture a a macro swarm.
And you call it in. McLean, you don't call him like directly, but you call it in, and the dispatch is like, "All right, we'll send a containment unit. Good work." And quite punctually. How many of you hang around? Because really, only Hanzo and
Yeah, I
Winifred are,
will
like,
advise. I will advise.
Fred's a pluripotent employee, but he's a security guard.
Yeah, I will advise people to sort of clear out and look inconspicuous, especially since this is technically a crime scene.
Maybe go get Fred's taking a look at.
Yeah, let's get the hell out of here.
Oh, actually, Hanzo,
Yeah.
you could probably take care of that.
All right, I do have that new medical stuff in my back. So you ready? Would you? I will present that. So, hospital or DIY surgery?
Well, I did lose a lot of money on those steaks.
My apologies.
My kids are coming. DIY surgery it is.
Which is, I believe, a
Heal
success.
one harm. Yeah. Choose one. Heal one harm. Stabilize the injury.
Heal one harm since I only had one to begin with.
Mhm.
Yep. So, Hanzo, you clean up the wound. Bit of flesh torn. Similar to what Olivia had suffered, but mostly it was the
None of you know
inflammation.
that happened yet.
Yeah. Well, no, you mentioned it to Hanzo, I think, right?
I don't think so, because she was trying to tell him what she saw, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I know what it is." And she was like, "Oh, okay, fuck me, I guess."
Yeah, you're the one who hung up on Hanzo.
Yeah.
But perfectly
I didn't
rational
say it was. I didn't say she was right.
Yeah, but I feel that.
She just had a lot on her mind.
Yeah, and Hanzo, you actually, because you have a pluripotent assigned med kit, you do have a little, not quite like a Starfleet
simple
type of
anti-venom.
spray. Yeah, kind of like an anti-inflammation thing to help with it, and it's a quick little injection. You barely even feel it, Fred, because your skin's so swollen and painful. But after you eventually, after like 10-15 minutes, the pain will pretty much subside completely, and you're able to walk around unhindered. But
Yeah, while he's recovering, I will ask. So, what's this about steaks?
Well, I got some really nice steaks. We were cooking them out on the barbecue, and the ants ate them, and it's a good chunk of paycheck just down the
What kind
drain.
of steaks.
Cow steaks.
I mean, ribeye.
It was some ribeyes.
Knowing
One
Fred's
T-bone.
budget,
Sorry
knowing
about
Fred's budget is probably like flank steaks at best.
oh,
Unless you saved up some nice steak.
I said he's canonically saved up and lost a very large chunk of his paycheck on those steaks.
You tragic motherfucker.
You have my
Cartoonishly
condolences.
tragic sometimes.
But yeah, once he's all healed up, get him cleared out before the capture team shows up.
and
Jokes on you,
Sure
they've been
enough.
watching you talk the whole time.
And for pluripotents, for to their credit, geez, that was the phrase I was looking for. They are actually fairly punctual. I don't about 10 minutes later, Fred, you're still like, a little bit tender from from the recovery still, but yeah, they show up. A truck shows up, very nondescript. It seems like like a big metal work truck kind of deal or van, yeah. Or kind of looks almost like a delivery van, really. But it opens up and two guys in the but not like a quite full biohazard outfit, but the jumpsuit and gas mask and stuff come out, and you guide them to it, and they're like, "Oh, geez, all right, you got lucky. They did not try to chew through this. They could easily chew through, consumer grade plastics like this." As they very carefully take their own smaller crate, stick it to the other end, and then as a group, probably with your help, tip it over so it just slowly rolls over into it, and they seal it up, and one macro swarm contained.
Who knows how many more left?
Question: did Fred or Winifred mention how big the swarm was in the backyard?
I think I did, yeah. One second.
Yeah. I remember. Like they made a distinction. What the size of the swarm that attacked them in their backyard versus this swarm was different.
Yeah, this is like maybe a fifth of that size.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, the one you saw in the backyard, Winifred, you could easily believe was able to strip a cat, full size cow, in however long it took, however long since they were out.
Yeah, just to let them know then, I will inform them. I have received complaints from a certain branch of the neighborhood of a rather large macro swarm.
Oh, lovely. Well, we'll get this one situated and pass that up along the line. Let them know that we should be prepared for that.
Yeah, I would keep ears out in that neck of the neighborhood.
Gotcha. And so, good work, Agent. And they, the guy shakes your hand, and then they load up the crate and drive off.
All right.
Yeah.
What is Tommy doing?
Yeah, what's Tommy doing?
I guess going back with Carlos to get more food.
Carlos, are you taking Fred to the diner to make up for the steaks?
I have a plan for that. Don't worry.
Okay, so you and like a couple of other people, geez.
Several
Fred is
people
going
are
to-
all planning in parallel to treat poor Fred.
I have 5,000 snakes. Steaks in my fridge.
5,000 snakes.
We're not to the
Snakes in the
snake.
fridge. I don't want to be there.
We're not to the snake apocalypse yet.
God damn it.
Snake pit.
I don't even know where snakes came from.
All I can imagine is Fred going, so I
Snake,
heard from
snake,
Carlos that snakes beat ants, so I went to the desert and grabbed like a whole bunch and put them in a bag, and now they're in the backyard.
Olivia just screaming from the other side of town.
Yeah.
Just, oh god, just Orville, 5,000 snakes. Just Star Trek materialize them.
Oh, jeez. No, that'd be more like a Fallout or Elder Scrolls, just like Spawn, 5,000 snakes.
Yeah, it's a mutant monster. It's literally 5,000. The creature is called 5,000 snakes. Because it's just 5,000 snakes all, like, merged into one.
Yeah, what's everyone doing? Olivia. Well, they've been gone. What are you doing? I can't remember.
Well,
You were out of the hospital by this point.
yeah,
Oh wait,
I went to the
you went with
Itzel.
Itzel.
Yeah. Old buddy, old pal.
I can't remember. Are you still hanging out,
Oh
or
yeah,
did
we
you
were.
guys split up?
As far as Olivia knew, nothing else is really going on. She does not know how bad it is.
Okay.
Like that happened, and Han's like, "Yeah, no, we know what's going on." She's like, "Oh, all right, then I guess you got this."
Okay. So Itzel would be. She'd be like, well, since it's an early morning for me, she says, at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Like, I could honestly go for something to eat.
Hell yeah. What you in the
And
mood
I
for?
think the Bad Moon Diner's closed, so I know Carlos has some good. He's got the good blood.
Carlos's
This is-
place is open, but I do, eat there a lot.
Come to my restaurant.
I'm trying to get the group free.
I know.
Shouldn't you gas up your own friends?
But it is good. He does have good stuff. So like, yeah, I could go for. I could go for one
I
of
mean,
those
yeah,
burgers.
it's Hugo. He's been working there for, I don't know, a long time. I'm pretty sure he's human, but
Huh.
Hugo's
Okay.
been
I-
here since before the settlers arrived. He's been here since before the natives showed up. Hugo is eternal.
Good. You wanna? Yeah, my treat. You got off real early for me, so my treat.
all right. And I just like, okay, hop on, helmet on.
Hell yeah.
So-
Still hop on. Hey, what am I gonna do with this mask?
Yeah, maybe you should put it on. See what happens. You might end up looking smoking.
You beat me to the joke.
God damn it. Yeah, we head off.
Okay.
Meow.
Meow. So you put her off on her motorcycle. Well, she'd probably be insulted if someone said her motorcycle puttered along.
Yeah,
but,
puttered. Oh my god.
Olivia
Olivia would never.
Yeah. So
But
Ithel drives you out. You both to the diner, and just for fun, it's about the same time that you all show up at the same time.
Yeah, you see Olivia on the back of Itzel's motorcycle with her, all the arms wrapped around her.
Itzel parks and waves. I almost had a convoy there for a moment.
Was what?
I almost had us a convoy there.
Yeah. Hey guys.
Hello.
Oh.
Welcome to the diner.
Yeah, Itzel got up early to help me with the thing, so I figured I should treat her some breakfast, lunch,
That's-
dinner.
That's fair. Fred nearly died again.
What?
Yeah, that would be up to you, Easy, if you wanted to follow up after that, because it wouldn't take long to catch up because they were pretty punctual and quick.
Yeah. I think he's still trying to poke around the crime scene and learn as much as he can.
I'm sorry. What happened to Fred?
Ants.
Yeah,
Wait.
Fred and Winifred would also be on their bikes, right?
yeah.
Wait. The macro
Oh
storm?
no, I don't know if I'd be on my bike.
Yeah, his leg's fucked up.
My
Yeah,
leg
so you'd
got
be
real
in the-
fucked up.
Yeah, you'd be in the jalopy with Carlos and Tommy.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's the conversation of Carlos has met them at the door and Fred's at a table. It's like, yeah, there's another one. There's more than one.
Carlos, you very distinctly made sure not to go by the old highway. with having the three of you in there, the same
Oh my
car.
god, you're just asking for the Road King to come back.
If you didn't get attacked by ants, I would have took the old highway.
Wait, there's a wait. Hold on. When did this happen?
It's
10
already
minutes
going
ago?
inside.
10. While you were doing your thing.
Zero.
Uh-huh.
Could the swarm have gotten there from the one that attacked me? Could it have gotten there in the time since?
Well,
I think we concluded not, actually.
Before we
Yeah, I
had split
believe
off,
not. But
we had concluded that there
yeah,
was one over at the crime scene and there was one that
yeah,
attacked
but again,
you.
this
We're
is
on the
a
other
news
side of the
to
town.
Olivia. She thought you guys had this handled.
yeah, because the rest of you might have discussed this on the way over, but you would guess that the swarm by the crime scene probably has been there since it escaped, and might have just been hiding out, waiting for darkness. But the others, the big swarm that went after Winifred and Fred's place, that was pretty isolated. Depending on how
Olivia,
fast these things can move through the water, you would guess maybe not, but it's possible. But you wouldn't think so.
yeah, okay. There's no way the one that attacked me got there. Where were you guys?
Oh, at the
Where-
crime scene.
There's a crime scene?
Yeah. Oh, right. You've been doing your own thing. I forgot.
No, I got attacked by a macro swarm. She
Yeah.
motioned to her leg.
Yeah, and then you came here, and then you went to do other stuff. I
No, she
remember.
never came here after getting attacked.
This is
Oh, she
news
never
to
came here
you.
after getting attacked.
You don't know that she got attacked by
Yeah,
a macro swarm too.
I don't. Yeah, I think that was the thing. She never came in for her morning coffee.
Yeah.
Right. Right. I thought Hanzo
This
maybe
is all-
mentioned something. I don't know.
This is news to Carlos.
Yeah, no, Hanzo spoke to her on the phone, but didn't learn that she had been attacked before you all departed for the crime scene.
Oh, okay. I thought there was a phone call afterwards.
There was a phone call with Hanzo where
While
she
she
did
was
not.
at the hospital,
Yeah,
You were
She
at the
did not-
hospital.
but
yeah.
she didn't tell
It was-
him.
It was
You're
with
true.
Hanzo, and she did not get to the part where, oh yeah, I got attacked too, because all the info she had about what it was, he already knew. She got annoyed and
fair.
hung up.
Right, okay. Sorry, it's been a hot second. I was assuming because I don't know, it fits with the MO we have of one being at the crime scene and then a giant one eating poor Fred's steaks. So
There's
more ants
than
makes
one.
sense.
There's more than one.
Yeah,
So-
I think you should go inside and rejoin everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so come on.
I imagine this is happening as we're going into the diner.
Yep.
Yeah. I figured that it felt like you two were just standing outside, just having this talk, just catching each other up.
Yeah.
Until everyone pushed past to go inside and start eating.
So what we've been able to put together is that there's a group called the Vultures or something. I wasn't paying that much attention. The
You would
smugglers.
know the vultures.
Smugglers.
They go after the preserve sometimes.
Yeah, I know the
and
vultures.
they
Yeah.
fucked up.
Yeah, the vultures are the ones responsible for finding the entrance in the first arc, and
Fuck.
the preserve has had previous dealings with them because they try to sneak on and try to capture, steal animals from the preserve.
Yeah, Olivia's face because it's cartoonishly when you mention them.
Yeah, so we think we found what. So the crime scene that I'm talking about was probably one of their bases of operation. It was one of the abandoned houses in the bad side town. And the swarm that got the guys there was probably the one that attacked Fred. But before going to that crime scene, we were all eating here in the diner while you were in the hospital. And Fred and Winifred were at their house vibing, and a much larger swarm stole Fred's steaks. So that implies there was more than one swarm.
Well,
And by your clarification, there is one that attacked you.
yeah, it stung like a son of a bitch.
I was concerned when Winifred, our Deep Ranger Fred, went. It was the largest macro swarm I've ever seen.
Huh. Oh.
Well, Carlos isn't gonna put that together. He doesn't know ants.
That's also very not good.
Yeah. So there's Endofauna. You're gonna hate the paper, by the way. He says, putting the paper in her hands with the picture of the dude with the Scorplodite. Same guy, by the way, from last time.
Yeah, it's a picture of the dude. It's like the same setup and posing of someone who like caught a large fish or something, like a sports fisher.
Oh my god.
But it's a scorplodite hanging by its tail from a tree.
The man,
So I think
needed to protect himself. I'm not angry.
Yeah, because he standing there posed, one hand a fishing pole, the other one like a shotgun that he very clearly got for protection after that. Well, that's what the news article says. After an encounter with the scorplodite, and that got loose, or it says he, while did not wish to stop fishing, felt he needed to protect himself, and Providence.
I do not begrudge anyone who needed to protect themselves from wild animals. I just wish it could have gone better.
The birth of a scorplodite hunter.
But with that and the news article I heard about the chupacabra attack up in the by the dam, it sounds like they've.
That one I think I heard about.
Yeah, I heard it on the radio. But
Yeah, that was
between
on the
that,
news.
it sounds like the vultures have not been doing good since the last time we fucked with them, and are reaping the consequences of messing with endofauna without proper equipment.
Normally, I'd say, you reap what you sow, but this sounds bad.
Yeah, you reap what you sow, but everyone else is also reaping the whirlwind.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah,
That's the problem with reaping the whirlwind, the collateral damage.
Yeah, like innocent snakes have been slaughtered.
Hey, Itzel.
She looks over from the bar, or the counter bar thing where you can sit and eat at a diner. She might be sitting with Winifred, and you're both just straws in with the new blood, yours with the absurd silly straw.
Yeah, she just real quick go to Carlos. I'm paying for her tab today, by the way. Carlos? Gray?
You are muted if you are speaking.
You died that fast?
No, I zoned out there for a second. What's up?
I'm paying for Itzel's tab today, by the way.
He gives you a knowing look, oh, are ya?
What? What?
You're gone all afternoon from the hospital, and you come in with the giant hot vampire lady who you got a job for. I'm sorry.
Motorcycle.
You're on her motorcycle with matching helmets. You're holding a weird mask. I'm not saying it's not my room to judge.
You did not see the mask.
Yeah, mask isn't hiding, I think.
Mask isn't hiding. Okay. You were doing who knows what. You were gone for about 3 hours. I get it. I was young. I understand.
You're my age, I think.
I'm 86.
You are not 86. Shut up.
I am 86.
No, you're not. Shut up.
I tell everyone I'm 26, but I'm 86.
Look.
It comes with the territory of being a wizard.
Yeah, she starts.
He got very lucky with the wizard rot, with the lich rot. Lich rot, Jesus.
She does visibly blush at this conversation, but she's like, "Look, hey, listen. Itzel's. I don't even know what she's into, right? I'm not. I'm happy to have. Fuck, that's.
See, remembering Carlos's model, what if his lich rod simply adapted to the modern day, making him look like a very particular kind of monster, which is a white stoner
God. The 90s white stoner.
with his
So if
shitty
you, like-
little goatee.
Olivia like shoots Itzel a quick glance over her shoulder.
I mean, this is
probably
how
just
he
have a-
dresses. Look at.
Yeah. I think Itzel's just probably chatting with Winifred.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Or
Okay.
Tommy and Fred, like, just having their own little meal, hanging out.
So, okay. We gotta do something to save the environment, right? I got an idea, Tommy. We get an animation studio to make a movie for the kids
Oh, no.
Right.
about stopping pollution. They gotta save a rainforest. Maybe like Tinkerbell's like, oh no, they're destroying the rainforest. And I think there should be a slime monster like made out of pollution. And I think it should sing the horniest song you've ever heard.
Wait a minute.
I
Who
just
would
watched
it be
that
voiced
Godzilla
by?
vs. Ghidorah movie.
Wait a minute. Like, up until he just got attacked, Fred believed that we were fighting the blob. Is he projecting here? It's like, I was so disappointed that it wasn't actually the blob, and now I'm thinking about it. I wish there was a
They should
blob monster.
destroy. They should destroy this sludge monster, and it's gotta sing like the horniest villain song you've ever heard.
So we're getting Tim Curry for this, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely getting Tim Curry. We gotta get Tim Curry. Maybe get like that guy from Mork and Mindy in there as well. I don't know. He could play like an animal or something.
Not Tim Curry, not Tom Slurry. Tom Slurry does sound like a Captain Planet's pollution villain.
That's who Tim Curry would play on Captain Planet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wow, this alright.
The variety of conversations that go on in this diner.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If these
So-
walls could talk, they'd scream.
They're
Yeah,
just- well, I mean, you just can't hear in that range.
yeah. I'm sure the wall, the diner, are just like, kill me, Carlos, later.
The diner's it's his phylactery.
The diner's not my
That's
phylactery.
Hugo's.
I'm not a lich.
That's Hugo's.
The night waitresses is Dark Knight.
The back rooms of the ride are my phylactery.
The-
It's where
You
I
know,
live.
night waitress. The K is silent.
The night waitress.
Enemy of the day, waiter.
So, Hanzo, you were
Yes.
back at the crime scene?
Yeah, I never left, but he's thinking about how he's taking into mind how large the old container was versus the size of the swarm we just captured.
Yep.
How big of a tank was that?
This thing, like when you tipped it on its side, it was like, I can't think of like an actual size, but the swarm that you had, it was like almost like pitiful down in the bottom of it. It just, it would be overkill to store something that size in something this big. But the swarm that Winifred and Fred mentioned, if it condensed down like it did, like when you saw the how it like
Yeah.
condensed down after exposure to the carbon dioxide of the fire extinguisher, that could probably fit, yeah. Because
at the very
like after
least-
hearing about these and learning about these, they can, much like a viscous fluid, they can expand or contract.
Mm-hmm. So that I'm going to conclude then that at the very least, this is the point of origin of all the macro swarms that are now around town. That I'm doubting there is like a second source. They all came from this tank, probably.
You would probably also assume that because you haven't heard any other reports of, scenes like this. If there is like a string of sabotages that seems to be happening, there hasn't been another incident like this. Which, from what you can learn, there was a chupacabra, a scorpionite, and a macro swarm that were all released. But the chupacabra and the scorpionite both being dealt with.
Yeah.
Chupacabra starved to death and had heat stroke. Well, not starved, but had heat stroke. Died of that, and scorpionite got shot.
Olivia,
Who would be the most appropriate person to contact for this string of vulture incidents? Trying to connect dots together. Would Pluripotent be angry about it? Do they prefer to deal with the vultures, or is that technically more the domain of the police?
Technically, it's like the domain of like the like the government organizations that deal with animal poaching and stuff. But when it involves, specifically endofauna, pluripotent does get some, like unofficial jurisdiction. The government agencies will defer to their expertise because pluripotent is, the expert on the superorganism and its endofauna. So it's more of like a collaboration thing. Like in the fallout of the, the first arc, you would have had to have talked to a couple of government agents themselves to, bring them up to speed as they all process the whole thing.
And I imagine McLean would be difficult to reach. He may not care for speculation without results, I suppose.
Yes. You do know there is one other member of Pluripotent that you know is on this case.
Yes.
And it wouldn't be hard for you to get her number.
Absolutely. I'll get into touch with her then.
Okay. And are you driving off, or?
He's not yet leaving the crime scene. He still wants to poke his nose around and find a few more. Like, get as much as he can before leaving. Because if I remember correctly, Bentley wanted me to give it a once-over, and while finding a macro swarm is definitely
You did find that detail about the sabotage to the glass.
I did find that. I did want to inform Bentley about that too.
Okay, so you're gonna contact Wakefield?
Yeah. First, contact Wakefield.
Okay, it takes like 2 tries, but eventually, she picks up and she goes, "Agent Wakefield."
This is Hanzo.
Agent Hanzo.
Are you abridged to the situation?
There's been several situations. Which one are you referring to?
The macro swarm.
I did hear that was a possible another escape from the vultures. Well, but she wanted to know about it was specifically the vultures. Because I did hear that was a possible another, incident.
Yes, I've investigated the crime scene where the macro swarm escaped, and I found evidence of sabotage. And I don't think you've heard the news. I don't think it's a coincidence that a scorpionite, a chupacabra, and a macro swarm all managed to escape at once.
No, especially considering when I found the truck ravine that the chupacabra itself had escaped from. It thankfully hadn't, tumbled. It just rolled down into it and crashed into a tree. But I was able to tell that the basically the chemical drip that was keeping the chupacabra in a comatose state, that had been slashed. The tubes had been slashed, and they were still like the IVs were still in the chupacabra when I tracked it down,
What
or
are your
when
conclusions?
when it was tracked down. She didn't track it down, but that would imply it was cut during transit because they, you know, I've dealt with. Well, we've both dealt with vultures. I heard your big case with the new entrants. They are very particular about their securing. Like even that truck that you recovered or found, they only escaped after it crashed.
I know it took a tumble through the ravine, but looking at it, do you believe that the chupacabra managed to escape while the truck was still in motion? Or did the crash happen then and it escaped?
I believe it woke up, attacked the driver, and that's what caused the crash. Because there was, after checking it, started doing a little field autopsy, it had injuries that would suggest it got tumbled around beyond just the dehydration and sun exposure.
Chupacabras are typically not strong enough to rip through metal like that, are they?
No, it wasn't. It was tied down by straps, but those were also cut. That was the thing. It's
Yeah, I found evidence of sabotage at this scene, so someone may be going around trying to free all of these creatures at once.
And if it was some kind of environmental activist, they would have been proudly announcing it. But we haven't had had to deal with people like that since a while. At least I. But are you thinking competition, maybe?
Olivia looks into the camera and winks.
Olivia all along.
He will think about it for a moment, and then he will, Wakefield. Are you, the previous case I worked on that put me on the bench, or how much do you know of it?
The fact that you gave up Dr. Porter to the official authorities and they fucked up and got him lost. I've read your report suggesting that he's still out there, and the evidence that the limbs were cloned is pretty compelling.
Yes. Come to think of it, there may be someone out there trying to make pluripotent look incompetent.
That would be the boss's biggest annoyance right now, considering the CEO is all about reopening.
Yes, this is rather perfect timing, don't you think?
That's what I was thinking too. But they can do it in other ways than just targeting vultures. More direct ways to embarrass them. This is, I don't know, it feels personal in a weird way.
He's got to think about it. It's a good thing Wakefield's not there. Hanzo usually has a pretty good poker face, but a slight emotion does register through his face where he considers Rawhead.
Oh, thank God I wasn't the only one thinking about him.
Especially since, I mean, we spotted him in the fucking very first arc, I do believe.
Yeah,
fucking. And we saw his bloody handiwork.
Fucking creepy as fuck. God, still.
Wakefield.
Hanzo.
How much do you know about the incident about the new breach? what we found exactly. You read my report, yes.
Yes, vulture operation that had a. Did Hanzo specifically mention Rawhead?
He did not mention Rawhead, but he can't deny the fact that these people were slaughtered by something.
Yeah, and she goes, vulture operation that, for all intents and purposes, looked like it was operating smoothly until the truck crashed and someone or some things butchered them. The survivor that you found is still. I haven't heard much. File didn't say what happened to him, but never really. And Hazel, you would know this too. Never really got any significant answers out of that guy. He was just so traumatized that he shut off. He went into like a catatonic state. And she goes,
Yeah.
"Are you thinking whoever did that might be doing this?"
Can't rule it out yet. Last few weeks, it's costly to invest fully into one theory before you have all the evidence. But it is a factor. That is still a big unknown on our radar.
Yes. And I have
like you
something.
said, it feels personal. I was there, Wakefield. I saw the bodies. That was not clean killing. That was butchery.
Yes, I saw the photos, and I'll be honest, I'm glad I did not see it myself.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to share? I'm just gonna
Not
continue
so much a
wrapping up
share.
investigating here.
Oh, shit, hold on, I was gonna have her say something, but I lost it. She was gonna say something, but I lost it. DM, fuck up.
Some anything else to share?
I remember. No, I remember. She goes, nothing really to share, just a theory. The previous vultures were, well, they had managed to capture because they found a breach. They were able to get that those endophones that you tracked down and secured. Where are they getting these new ones? That's what I'm trying to figure out myself.
Could it be that these are not new acquisitions, but these are creatures they managed to smuggle away when the operation was still going?
Doubtful. That was like a month ago, and they would have transport. Chupacabra requires. Chupacabras would require specific things to be, kept healthy. This thing looked like it was plucked out of the superorganism, like beyond its injuries. It looked like it was plucked out of it like a day or so prior.
So freshly acquired, then.
That would be my guess. I haven't looked at the Scorpulidite because, sure enough, we probably confiscated it, unless that guy's going to raise a stink about keeping a trophy. But I wouldn't be surprised if that also showed signs of being a recent escape. Similarly, macro swarms, they eat a lot. They really only thrive down there because, everything's made out of meat.
I mean,
I'm not giving her a very good voice.
Up here, most things are made out of meat, too.
Yeah.
All right.
You hear Olivia's voice in your head.
Sustainably made out of meat.
You hear you had Olivia's voice. Up here, we're all made of meat, too.
Here, your meat too! Your meat too!
Until Benedict shows up again.
The cowboy robot comes strutting out of the desert.
All
right. Don't hesitate to keep in touch, Wakefield, and share your findings. I am doing the same here.
Yes, I appreciate you reaching out. It's better when we can work together on something like this. And if it's as widespread as it seems, we're gonna need each
Yeah.
other's help.
Yeah. All right. I'll get back to it.
All right. Good luck. Or no, she want to say good luck. She go. Good hunting.
And I'll make one last investigate a mystery before
Okay.
wrapping up the crime scene.
Yeah, this will be your last available one.
And I
Because
do have a
it's
hold of
just-
2.
Yeah, not really supposed to be able to like keep rolling until you get a good roll, but
It's been separated by like a few sessions and scenes.
yeah, and the incident, Fred
Yeah,
got
and it-
nibbled.
Yeah,
So
it's not exactly me rolling guidance and inspiration to keep going.
Yeah, you're not safe scumming at least.
Hmm.
Uh, 9. That's another hold of 1. Oh wait, were you doing the?
I was using my
adding-
hold of 2.
Okay, so yeah, 9. Okay, yeah, that's another one. What happened here? What sort of creature is it? You know that one. What can it
Yep.
do? You've kind of seen what it can do. What can hurt it? Kind of got an idea. Where did it go? What was it going to do? What is being concealed here? You kind of got an idea of what happened here with the sabotage to the glass.
Yeah. Active sabotage. Macro swarm. Voracious meat eaters. Neutralized by certain chemicals. It seems, if I had to guess, that swarm split off. But why would it split off? Yeah, did they mention yeah, I think we talked before about typical macro swarm size down in the superorganism.
Yeah, and Winifred would have said what you encountered on the back, next door was about the max size they normally get before they like split off.
And if there
Kind of
was
like how
even
bee and ant. Well, it's more like how a bee swarm rather than an ants because the queen will go found her own hive and like regular ants, but their behavior is a little more different. Where it's more like an ant hive where they will split their numbers when they reach to a certain point and have a new queen.
looking at the size of the glass, concluded that this tank could have contained a lot of macro swarm. Perhaps even more macro swarm, like past the point of critical mass, so maybe they split off from there to hunt more sustainably.
That would track.
So
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just
There's
gonna
always that
say,
little delay in the mic, so I always feel like I'm talking over someone.
at the very least, it's not like or what's it? I don't see it on that end, or.
Hmm? I mean,
I
There's
guess
the question.
I'll ask the question of what's being concealed here. If there's literally anything else I can get.
yes. So, as you go back into you look through the living rooms, kind of tracing the steps of the guy who had fled. You saw the chair get shoved, and the ant had been trapped under there, which Carlos had found, and you go back into the kitchen, and this place was pretty much abandoned. There's not like anything in the fridge. There's not really even like, well, there's power, but there's fridge is busted. But you start looking around. You open up a couple of cupboards, and it's when you kind of crouch down to one of the cupboards near where the table is, where the crate was. The door is kind of like off its hinge, and as you grab it, you kind of open it, and you realize, this place has been in a state of disrepair. But as you see, there's like grooves, sort of like scratches in this wood that running your fingers over it. The splinters are still fresh, and
Hmm.
you're like, oh, that's weird. But you open it up, and it's just like a very narrow cupboard. There's nothing in it besides like dust and like some rat shit. It looks like, but there's very cramped. Like you wouldn't even be able to like squeeze yourself in there. But as you look, you open the door, and you see similar scratches on the inside of the door and the walls of the interior of this cupboard. But there's like this moment, and only because you had this thought in the car, these are very large claw scratches, grooves in the wood, like something pulling itself forward through the cramped space. And if you remember the size, his height, from what you saw of him in the distance, you could probably reach from that cupboard to the crate.
Yeah, he'll go back over to the glass crate. The break points,
Pieces
did
of
they
glass are
look like
still on the ground.
tool? Yeah, he'll pick up the pieces of glass and he'll try to put together. Does it look like the work of a power tool or something natural?
It's not like the smooth drilling of like a drill. It looks like something kept tapping, something hard and sharp. Because you are piecing together these clues.
Yeah, he'll go back over to where the cupboard was, see the distance between him and the tank where it originally was.
You have this little moment where when Carlos was walking around, there was this little faint crackle of static that you briefly caught from his headphones when he walked past that cupboard in the kitchen.
Didn't think much of it at the time.
But it was also right around the
piecing
time
all that
you
together.
would piece together that was when Fred was getting attacked.
Yeah. So just to clarify what you said, given you said it would be difficult for me to squeeze in here, but we know that Rawhead does not play by normal rules.
Perhaps. You haven't really had any confirmation.
Yeah.
Like from
I
what
remember like it being someone saying, I think it was one. I think Thundar is saying Rawhead is a creature of curses.
Mhm. Also, Suze would have mentioned that too. The old lady at the curio shop, because her and Lucia were the two people that have Rawhead have been mentioned to her, and both of them are like, "Stay the fuck away." And also, because Connor's no longer here with us, his little cursed passenger got a very familiar. Yes, I think actually that was who said that he felt very cursed. That was something Connor mentioned to you previously.
Hanzo usually has a face of judgmental staring, but his eyes are squinting even more now. Yeah, he's gonna hold on to those little pieces of glass.
They're fairly big, but yeah, you'd be able to put them in your car. As you stoop down to pick them up, and or while you grabbed them, are you heading out?
Yes.
Okay. Are you going to rejoin Carlos, or where are you going? Or rejoin at Carlos's? We've got like an hour until pumpkin time, right? Or an hour and a half.
Shady?
An
hour and a half.
Okay.
Well, first he's going to ring up Carlos.
Yeah, hello, this is Carlos.
I investigated this crime scene a little more, and I have a theory. I've picked up some of the pieces of glass from the tank. Is it within your ability to essentially a magical fingerprint.
It's been a while, but probably.
Yeah, that would be something specifically be called psychometry. Getting a psychic impression off an object.
If not you, we do have that name of that old woman.
Zeus.
Oh, Susie.
She may be worth checking out. It's just a theory, but
Well, yeah, I can try and do it like how I did with the ant with the quill, but for sure. Or finding out a fingerprint would be, in theory, simpler, depending on how much of a presence the source had. Like, if you had like a bone, would be great, but I don't have a bone, probably. It sounds like you're going to bring me something weird.
just pieces of glass. But I suspect our friend touched it.
We have a lot of friends.
The skinless kind.
Oh, yeah. Fair.
Like I said, it's just a theory for. You know what? I'm gonna check out the expert in this.
Okay.
Don't want to tax your abilities too much in case we.
Oh, no, it's no problem.
Swarm.
Oh, it's no problem at all. It's not like I have like a pool of like, oh, I can only cast so many spells a day. It's just kind of what I can channel.
Understood.
My only warning bells are when things go bad, like, you know, hey, your hair starts changing colors, or oh, your fingernails fall off.
I'm gonna go to Susie then.
Okay, tell her I said hi.
Probably hasn't been called Susie in like decades.
I wouldn't call her that to her face, but yeah.
What is her proper name?
Suze.
Suze Parr.
All right, thank
you.
you.
You know her last name is Parr.
Yeah. Let the others know. But don't feel the need to jump up and join me.
Yeah, they're having lunch. I'll join you. My staff love it when I go on random trips. Allows them to get away with murder. Metaphorically speaking.
All right, your presence may.
Okay, I'll meet you at
like
Suze's.
over my head.
The origin of Hugo's Mr. Meaty enchiladas.
Don't ask where he gets the meat for the Mr. Meaty enchiladas.
I'm making shit up, and I don't want that to be canon.
Too late.
The truth does not need to be he murders people. The truth can just be he sources from like a local place because he trusts their meat better.
No,
it's
the
Hugo
last
goes
time.
out into the he goes out into the wild and hunts down the bare hand.
No, the answer is last time I tried to ask him, hey, I'm the restaurant owner, where are you getting the meat for this? He chased me with a frying pan for 3/4 of a mile. I'm not running 3/4 of a mile again, and I'm not dealing with the complaints of people running 3/4 of a mile. Being chased by a silent man with a frying pan.
The other waitresses are like, we don't know if that story is true, but Hugo doesn't say. But,
yeah, I'll pass over the scene to any.
So back at the diner, you know, just hanging out, letting her respective wounds recuperate, because Olivia and Fred, you both got kind of hit in the same spot, just by the nature of the beast.
Olivia like holds her leg up to Fred. Same bites.
Yeah. I got bit by ants.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah.
Fucking hurt.
Yeah.
First they ate his steak, and then they try to eat him.
He was the steak. Did they take you to the hospital?
Yes.
Okay. It wasn't a huge deal. They had anti-venom on hand.
That is the voice of someone who has no health insurance.
Uh-huh. Olivia has taken him to the preserve because he does not have health insurance.
Yeah, you knew the answer to that question when you asked it.
No, she did not because she wasn't there. She doesn't know what Hanzo did. Hey, it's a.
He's still at the counter.
She opens her mouth and then it closes itself after a second, and she takes a breath. You ever heard of the macro swarms?
Kind of squints a moment, then looks over to Winifred sitting on the other side. Is like, that a superorganism thing?
Kind of, yeah.
She looks back. She goes, I just worked at Pluripotent driving a forklift really most of the time. I didn't really.
No, you're fine. I was just curious, cause yeah, she whispers so all the customers don't hear her. Cause there's some macro swarms and shit going around.
Messed up your leg.
Yeah, that's the ants that attacked me.
Huh.
But she got anti-venom. Anti-venom.
I shoved you off your stool.
Ah, fuck!
No, not really.
Honestly, even if you just playfully nudge, it wouldn't be.
No, do it. It perfectly fits. It's a hard life of Klutzman. You quickly nudge. You only softly nudge him, but he still falls.
It's a hard knock life for me. I will suffer eternally.
No.
I can't believe Fred's going to hell.
Never gonna catch a break.
Yeah.
Like Silent Bob, I stepped on a rake.
So
Oh, no.
I guess my next question, if you've ever run into anything like that's gonna be a no.
Well, I've had to deal with regular army ants down south, but those were nasty enough. So, yeah, I can imagine the kind juiced up on super organism weirdness would be a weird problem.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, I love the super organism. But I do not like those ants. Oh, I think I found an animal that I don't enjoy the presence of. I didn't think that'd ever happen.
Well, I mean, you'll expect to whatever the back he goes. You can. It's not my place to try to make you accept every animal, but I mean,
Hey, no, I'm mostly kidding. I'm mostly kidding. I'm mostly kidding. It's little. Look.
no, I get it. They try to eat your foot. I get it.
Yeah, I'm just letting off some steam. I think we should catch these guys and get them back home safe and sound. That is what I hope we can do with these. I was just trying to burn off a little steam because God, my legs still it hurts.
Yeah, by comparison, Fred, your leg's actually feeling fine. It only hurts if it gets poked.
Oh, great.
Yeah, you
think
got the good pluripotent juice.
Great, awesome.
Yours is still good. It's itchy.
Oh, see, the thing is, Olivia is also stubborn, so she's putting weight on it when she probably shouldn't be.
Oh, one of those.
Those people who feel like they hurt their hand or something, they will stubbornly use that hand to try and work off the pain.
The worst kind of patience. Stop that. So, yeah.
Yeah. Can I get No, it's probably not a good time to ask.
You asking for my number? Oh, you already had it.
Her face goes red.
Like, you called me at home.
She already gave you your number, Norway.
No, I don't know if that's me messing up or not.
No. You're
it's-
right. You are correct.
You are
Yeah,
absolutely.
she's kind of just like, as a smirk, she's just like, you called me at home, right?
Yeah. You did. I see. Well, so you see, I wasn't literally going to ask for your number because I've got that. It'd be real silly if
Yeah,
I asked.
that'd be my bad.
Um, she's lying, but I was gonna ask if you wanted to do something like this again, maybe with less horrific ant bites.
I mean, less horrific ant bites make any situation better, so sure.
All right. See, I didn't know what you were into.
And she does kind of lean over, but what if Fred, because of vampire hearing, since you're just right there, you'd probably be able to hear it. No one else would be able to hear it, but she'd be like, you do know, like, I was going to come to the matches and stuff, right?
Oh, yeah, I know. I know. I mean, even if you said no, I'm happy to just, have you as the friend.
Yeah, of course.
But,
I mean, we're coworkers now, so better to be friends than not. She kind of
exactly. But, instead of putting my foot in my mouth, I'm just gonna say I enjoyed spending the day with you, and I'd like to do it again.
I don't know. I might be a little old for you, Olivia. Yeah, it was fun. Like, sure.
Wait, what?
She was joking. She goes, I don't know. I
Yeah.
might be a little old for you, Olivia. No, yeah, that was fun. Sure.
There's a pause. I'm not
Vampire,
going
remember?
I'm not going to ask because that's not my business.
She looks over to Winifred. She's learning.
Everybody has to sometime.
And what's Winifred's reaction been this whole time? Just leaning there, watching, sipping.
She's just sipping her new blood and trying to pretend that she can't hear any of this to be polite. But if she's included in the conversation, she'll reply.
Yeah, in that definite way, it was like, I'm just here. I can hear everything, but I'm being polite and not getting involved.
This is not my circus, not my monkeys.
Yeah, I'll try not to get eaten by a swarm of ants before we can hang out next time.
And just for my sake and probably your sake, because I can be a grump if this happens more than, occasionally.
Oh no, I
Try
absolutely.
calling me closer to dusk.
Yeah, no, today was a special case because I needed to, get out of the hospital.
Yeah.
Next time it'll absolutely be a more regular time.
Yeah. And then, yeah, that would be good.
Awesome.
The rest of you, what's going on?
So amputations, no amputation for this one.
What?
You don't even necessarily need new flesh.
That's good.
Wait. What?
No
What?
lizard flesh.
It's a little concerning that you always go straight to amputations for these situations.
Well, I had a bit of a phase where I was a Civil War history buff, and You read about the battlefield and you're like, whoa, geez, they cut off a lot of legs.
Right. That was like almost 130 years ago.
Oh, I mean, how much has medical science really advanced since then?
Fred?
Jesus.
Seriously, I want to know. I don't go to the hospital that often.
A lot. Look at your leg already. Also, why does your leg seem to sting less than mine?
Like,
Maybe
is
it's
this
that
really
lizard-
itchy or just me?
Maybe it's that lizard goo that they put on me like ages back. I don't know.
We both lizard goo.
Remember when they gave me the lizard goo to fix my burns?
Oh, we both got that for him.
Oh.
Sandy, the waitress, kind of like in passing, just kind of like looks, like, and then just like gets this like not my monkey, not my circus.
Not my circus, not my monkeys. All right, speaking of which, hey, I got a call. I'm gonna be back. Holler if you need anything.
Is that in character or is that
That's in character, yeah.
okay? Wait, what's going on?
I got a phone call.
He's
Oh,
taking
alright.
a phone call.
I'm gonna be back in about 30 minutes or so. I'm just
Alright.
running over to Suze's. So
All right. What's Hondo, by the way?
Suze's.
Oh. Then maybe we should all go to Susan's, maybe?
It's not a life or death thing.
No.
It wasn't said that way. We can continue to fracture the party.
This was just like, I'm gonna stay here, finish this, and I'm probably going back to nap before my shift at
No,
night.
that's totally fair.
Absolutely, no worries. And I don't
And I
want to
will
split
keep
you off
my eye
before you're
out
done
for
having fun.
swarms.
Yeah, if you see a swarm,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll give you guys a call.
Establish your
but, like,
dominance.
Oh.
You-
Eye
It's kind of
contact
like
with the swarm.
she looks to Hanzo. She goes,
Yeah,
"Since
I'm
this
not here.
seems to be like the hangout place for this little group of
he's not here.
kind of searches for a word, and then goes, should I just like call here if something happens? This seems like the place where you always hang out."
It's not a bad. Oh, actually, hold
It's
on,
not a
let me-
bad one. And if
let
they
me roll
don't, they
something.
know. If they don't, the waitresses know to call me or leave a note for me if we're not here. So no worries. You're more than welcome to. And I'll let y'all have fun with it, he says as he's putting on his coat in 90-degree weather and goes out to the car.
But seriously, if it's relating to this stuff, well, shouldn't we go?
It's no rush.
Take
No
a breath.
worries.
You got eaten by ants.
Jeez, sorry, Carlos. You just unlocked a core memory of me growing up when you mentioned putting on a jacket in 90-degree weather, and for some reason that just reminded me. Growing up in the neighborhood that I was at, there for like several years, because he would always show up. We would only really see him in the summer, but my family would always recognize this guy. We called him the cowboy, or like the goth cowboy, because he would literally. It was this dude, full black duster, black cowboy hat, black cowboy boots, black gloves, like leather gloves, and he would always be walking or sitting at the bus stop, and we would always see him. It was like, oh, there's the goth cowboy again, and it's just like he became like this little weird celebrity to my family as we were growing up. It's just like every time we would see him, my mom or stepdad would comment, it's like, he must be dying in that, but he just was dedicated to the bit.
Olivia pulls out a radio. We've all got one of these. We use a certain frequency, so if you're in range, you could always catch one of us on here.
Isn't that one of the preserve radios?
No.
Just immediate.
Just goes, well, I know where to charge it then. Takes it.
Yeah. Yeah, this is related to work. It's just also very convenient.
I mean, I haven't had to go. They did tell me that, I would have to go out and fix up a car, any of the trucks if they broke down. So why not?
Thanks again.
And good hunting.
Thumbs up, nodding, very enthusiastic wink towards Olivia as Carlos goes out. And I go to meet Hanzo without letting the others know.
I mean, you told us you were going to Susan's.
And that Hanzo was at Sousa's, so
Yeah.
This is true. I guess I technically did let you know.
Yeah.
Though he did not tell you why.
He looks
To
to
be
the
fair,
rest of the gang.
He
So,
doesn't
like,
know why.
Should we go to Susan's?
You tell me, person who got their aunt leg.
You cut out.
You
for,
want
like,
to get
all
up
of
on
that.
that leg?
You cut out for like all of that, DZ.
Something about wanting a leg?
You tell me, person whose leg got eaten by ants. Do you want to get up on the leg?
Don't ask her that.
well,
I
the
prefer
hospital
not to
did
cut off
heal
my
her
leg.
up, so she like Fred don't have the negative anymore. It was only
I imagine it's still a little sore.
well, yeah, that's the joke that because you gave Fred the good pluripotent experimental healing juice, or antidote, he would antidote. You were able to negate the. It's still tender. It stings if you poke it, but Fred,
Yeah, I just got regular hospital shit.
Hanzo is an agent of Pluripotent, one of the biggest biotechnology companies in the world. He has access to access to the experimental shit.
I do too, in a roundabout sort of way. But yeah, don't ask Olivia if she wants to be on her leg. She's going to say yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's up to you all what you want to do. Fred, I think you'll have to definitely take a ride with someone because I think your bike's still at the crime scene since you rode in the jalopy.
Oh God, yeah, wait.
There's a non-zero chance that's getting stolen.
No,
God.
I mean there would be. You could also
It's not a crime scene.
take a roundabout way to drop you off so you can pick up your bike.
Also, I just realized I don't have a car.
Yep.
Oh my God.
And Carlos is the one leaving with the car. Everyone else is motorcycles.
Well, shit. I guess
Even
we
Tommy has a motorcycle.
Shit.
Maybe go pick up poor Fred's bike before it gets jacked.
Oh, I don't have my
Yeah.
vehicle.
Winifred's gonna have to take him there.
Yeah.
As soon as you get there, the fucking microswarm will now be in the shape of a human driving
Oh,
around
God.
Fred's bike.
Ralph S. Swarm.
The Swarm's just my personal nemesis, ain't it?
Yeah.
Wasn't
my
that
stick,
the
stole my
kid's
bike.
book, Ralph S. Mouse? Ralph S. Swarm.
Yeah.
My God.
So, so you could go pick up your bike. Thankfully, despite the kind of, I'm not trying to be stereotyping, it is kind of a shitty neighborhood, but your bike's there. It hasn't been touched, it looks like.
Yay!
Actually, since you were probably leaving it behind, you probably pushed it into the garage of the house. It's still there. So, what are the rest of you doing? Tommy, you'd probably have to ride. Oh, Tommy, you BRB'd. Yeah, unless you. Yeah, what? Olivia,
Yes.
unless you stop Carlos, you don't have a ride. Unless Tommy gives you a ride on his motorcycle.
Nothing
you
bad
might
goes
have-
wrong with a ride of Tommy.
You might have to ride with Carlos then.
I'm gonna limp after Carlos. Carlos, wait.
Limp after him into the. Well, your limp's gone. Like I said, you don't have the
Okay, no,
negative,
yeah.
but-
Fair. She doesn't limp after him. She just Goes after him. Carlos, wait.
Does it for pity, anyways.
No. Carlos?
Sorry, I had to step away. What's up?
Olivia hobbled after you. Not really hobbled, but followed you into the parking lot going, I don't have a ride.
Yeah, Carlos! Carlos!
What?
I have no vehicle currently.
What
Yeah,
happened to your
first-
truck?
I didn't have it because I was at work. I had the work truck, but then I got attacked by ants, so they took me to the hospital.
Yeah, it's the truck got picked up by the preserve.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
and Winifred and Fred are departing to go pick up Fred's bike.
Okay. Then hop in the car, I guess, or be stuck here at the restaurant.
Yeah, I'd prefer not to.
Tommy's already in the back seat.
He'd be RB, but we'll say that's where he was.
He just
He didn't slip off.
aspirates into the seat.
He's not Drake. He's not getting big teleportation powers. That's not going to happen.
We've seen what that can do.
Remember what happened to Zoe when he tried to teleport her? She got very friendly with the skeletons.
Yeah.
Well acquainted.
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah.
You're a Tasmanian tiger, right, Tommy?
He'd be RB'd.
BRB.
Right, but the question stands. He is a tiger, right?
Yeah. Tasmanian tiger, not the devil.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Where Tasmanian devil?
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. All I can imagine, well, since clearly Winifred can shapeshift, we know Tommy can turn from human to giant hybrid form. I wonder if he can turn into an actual Tasmanian tiger. Just horrific screeching, jaw very wide, and then shrinks.
Or
then
if he's just
oh, puppy.
He is one, but he's just big. Like how, like I've seen some werewolf fiction where they do turn into just basically giant wolves, like even compared to normal wolves,
Yeah.
which are already big. Like
there's the
Big
scale
B.
of human to monster to animal.
Like Big B.
Puppy. Yeah.
To be fair, Big B is also literally the big bad wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so the Fred, you recover the Fred bike number 2. And Carlos and Olivia, you are going to meet Hanzo at Suspar's what was it? Oddities and Obscurities Curio Shop down near the Manatee Mall.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, we be.
Which there is a very garish, like, manatee statue at the entrance of the mall.
Oh God.
Yes.
Appreciate it, Carlos.
No problem.
Hanzo, you would have definitely gotten there before the jalopy. So you're probably waiting there for them.
Yeah.
It's still open because it's, like 4 in the afternoon, so it's still.
Yeah.
Hi, Hanzo.
Which I will say, there is something of an element of a ticking clock, because as you saw with the smaller swarms, the bigger swarm managed to get away with it following the overcast clouds, but there is something of a ticking clock to this where the swarms are more active at night. The 2 that you've encountered have been taking refuge in the shaded areas.
Yeah. In that case, I think he would already be inside explaining the situation.
Okay, so
depending on how soon he arrived.
We'll say that, actually, yeah. Carlos and Olivia wouldn't be far behind you. But, so you go in and Still that same bored teenager there, working at the counter. This time they're like watching like what they have like one of those little portable TVs set up and headphones plugged into it, and they just nod at you. They like kind of sit up when the door opens and you walk in, but they recognize you and they nod and kind of slouch back down. But you after minute or so of the bell dinging, you like kind of just like looking around the front area. You hear the shuffling steps of Suze as she kind of shuffles out from among the shelves and clothing styles.
What was her last name again?
Parre, Parre.
Hey, it's who's.
Miss Parr.
Hello, you three.
Hey.
What can
I
I
have
do for you? It's
something.
been a couple of weeks since you bought up all my silver.
Yes.
I mean, I've been in since then.
This is somewhat time sensitive.
Ooh,
Something is afoot, obviously. But
another mystery, huh?
I,
She's a little. She gets this like look of like barely contained, like not contained but barely hidden excitement. She's like, this look of like, I know this is probably a bad thing, but oh, this is exciting kind of look.
Yeah.
I asked Carlos if he was capable of this, but I also wanted to approach. Yes, I do not doubt your abilities. I just wanted to consult an expert, considering what she also knows about.
She glances at her grandson, headphones and not paying any attention to you with the headphones on and just staring at the little portable TV. But she goes, "Oh, here, I think what you're looking for is over here." And she just shuffles over, waving you to follow her, just a little more discreet. She goes, "So, what's the problem then?"
I have a hunch, and I would like it confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
Are you capable of reading a magical fingerprint?
God, this is still so bizarre.
I think I can do something along the lines. I believe it's called psychometry, where you get the impression of, the strongest psychic impression. It's really a lot of how, mediums can tell if something is truly haunted or not, or if something just is, imprinted with something terrible.
In that case, Carlos can assist. I'm hoping that with his expertise and your knowledge, we can piece something together.
Yeah, I'm also curious what all this is about, Hanzo.
He will retrieve the shards of glass.
Yeah, they're fairly big, so you would have had to like carry them in like a.
Yeah, he kept them in a box or whatever.
Yeah, you have like a suitcase.
Yeah.
So you pull those out, and she goes, "Oh, something break out." She's like looking at. There's like this like antique vanity set that she just uses as like a surface, and she starts putting it down, kind of puzzles it together.
Something did indeed escape, but
it's
less of a case of something breaking out and more like something breaking in.
Is that where the macro storm came from?
Yes.
That looked familiar.
She leans over and inspects the glass herself.
And she's looking it over, and she looks to Carlos. She goes, "You ever done this before?"
Yeah, once or twice back in the day.
Okay. And so, since I don't roll anything as the DM, you get to roll a use magic with advantage. So you roll 3 and take the higher of the two higher of the 3 rolls, and then add your bonus.
Okay, 1 second. There we go. Discord was being a little wonky on me trying to find my...
Advantage is, So you'd roll 3d6 and take the higher 2.
We stole that from interstitial. Well, stole is
Oops.
a harsh word, but
I appropriated.
yeah. We culturally appropriated it from interstitial. I'm so sorry.
I
That was dumb.
didn't mean that in the cultural appropriation thing.
No, I know.
Oh,
No, I was me being dumb. That was me being dumb.
and
Mechanically appropriated it.
yes.
So that's a 7.
Wow.
Oh, yes. A 7 is still a pass, though.
With a
You can use
advantage.
magic.
He rolled 2
Yep,
ones.
because 2 1s and a 3.
Oh my God, Gray. I'm so
It's
sorry.
it's a random dice generator. It's whatever.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, you've
I'm
heard
so
of
sorry.
Tommy's rolls, and you've
Yeah.
seen Raven and how Roll20 treats him.
Yeah.
I have. Yeah. It's
We've all seen that.
impressively awful.
Misfortune is not a cruel patron.
Which is hilarious considering Connor's was possessed, not cursed, well, not possessed, but cursed by a demon of misfortune. But well, his family, it was complicated. Anyways, so yeah, 7 to 9, it succeeds. It works imperfectly. Choose an effect and a glitch. I choose what the glitch is, but okay. And you're trying to. Oh, observe another place and time. So this would fall into just the basic use magic then.
Convenient.
Yeah, Hanzo. Lady Misfortune was the name of the retired luchadora that Olivia met last time.
Yeah.
Senorita Fortuna.
Senorita Fortuna. Yeah, that makes sense.
But so with the 7 though. Okay. The two of you kind of look at this, and how does Carlos lead this? Because she's kind of assisting you in this.
This is fair. I would say Carlos kind of like picks it up, and as like it kind of levitates almost in its hand and spins, kind of like how a record does as the little disc thing plays. How she helps, you can flavor as you desire.
Okay. And she pulls out her little tuning fork, and this would be actually the first time you've seen her use it, as the glass shards are spinning in this broken pane, like they're held together in the pane shape from where she had placed them on the thing, and she glances over, still teenage grandson, completely oblivious to you all, and she reaches out with the tuning fork and holds it out so the corners of the glass ting against it, so there's that ting 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 of the tuning fork against it, as this resonance flows out. And Carlos, the rest of you see his eyes, he kind of blinks, and then his eyes roll back into his head, so only the whites of his eyes, and you see Susan, she is similar. As Carlos, you and Suze both see the scene the previous night where the man was standing in the kitchen on a phone going, okay, so I gotta wait longer? Alright. Shit. Alright. Just hurry. I've run out of stuff to feed this thing, and it's getting antsier. No, I didn't mean that as a fucking pun. Just hurry up.
Feeling antsy, are we?
And the guy just slams the phone and goes and walks over to the front door, wrenches it open, just stands there, starts. I can't remember if he was smoking a cigarette, but he just stands there watching the storm, just seeming frustrated. But you don't see it from his point of view as you're disembodied, like, focal point. You're still in the kitchen as you see this. You hear there is the creaking of a hinge, very quietly, and only audible within the kitchen itself. No way the man could have heard it. As you see the cupboard hinge, the same one that Hanzo had seen, pushed open by a large hand, completely devoid of flesh, with long fingers, mostly bones in a jagged thing, almost like jagged spikes. As it pushes open, the palm out as wide as the cupboard itself. As it reaches across, the bones cracking and twisting as if disjointed or dislocating itself to twist through this cramped space. As it just reaches up a single finger up to the glass, and even the swarm inside recoils. But then it just goes tap, 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 tap. Just a rapid, almost woodpecker tapping. Very very short tap, so it's not trying to make a noise. And it's just, you hear this Percival, you fucker. And then there's the crack of the glass as it seems whatever this finger put enough force on this reinforced glass to crack it slightly. And then that hand slowly slips back, twisting and cracking back into the cupboard and pulling the cupboard door shut.
Oh my god, that's fucking awful.
I'm getting flashbacks from the Nick Cage Arcadian movie.
Never seen it. But the didn't mean to sound dismissive, sorry. I just haven't seen it. And that's when you both kind of shake your heads and like blink to clear your vision. It's like your vision for a moment. There's like almost like a double lay of what you saw and what's real around you, and it's just like oh fuck. It's like a bad VR experience where the two cameras or the lenses like fuck up, and it's like instant Barfsville for a moment. But you blink it clear, and you're just like, oh. So, and then you look to Susan, and she's just kind of, oh, that was, oh no.
Yeah,
Oh,
no. I didn't know he could do that. I don't like he can do that.
Ew.
She like starts looking around the cluttered curio shop.
What happened?
Oh, he's out and about again.
Ooh!
Is it what I suspected?
You didn't tell me what you suspected, but
Our skinless friend.
yes.
Oh
God, he has such. I want to know how he just gets like. I'm curious almost about the process of how he got a hand out of a cabinet when his hand was the size of the cabinet.
Are you implying?
No, I am directly stating it's our friend from down below. Come up to say hello and fuck over Percival.
Bloody bones. Yes, he said something about someone named Percival.
Fuck.
He didn't sound happy.
No, I believe the direct terminage was "fuck you, Percival," as he was tapping like a woodpecker on the glass.
And looking at the glass now, Carlos and Hanzo, that looks to be about the case. It's just someone rapidly just wood chipped woodpecker tapped a hole into this thing.
My God.
Until it cracked, which then the swarm was able to press and make their escape.
My God.
You should have seen the size of the cabinet. I could barely fit in there.
No, you wouldn't have.
Yeah. I would not have fit in there.
So he can condense his body down. Great.
No.
I imagine
it's
it's
worse
more
than
like
that.
he doesn't care what he breaks.
Well, there is
What?
that, but okay, I don't exactly know what to call him. Or I'm eating a piece of candy is gummier than I thought. Sorry, Sour Patch Kids. She's like, the closest thing I can really describe him as is, and this is probably vastly simplifying things, but he is the boogeyman. Darkness and cramped spaces are where he loves to hide because you never expect to look there. Beneath the
Ugh.
stairs and cupboards, in the shadows.
Oh,
So
great,
it's
I've
not
never.
necessarily that he managed to cramp himself inside of there. He could just reach through darkness.
Well, that's the
Come on.
thing. If you had flung it open, you would have seen him cramped in there. That's the thing. It's something I've seen and something that still wakes me up in the middle of the night.
I'm lost. He can just appear in those spaces or worm his way through dark spaces. What?
He works.
He's
He doesn't work on rules of conventional logic. Don't try to apply them to him because he just tells you to fuck off, and then apparently, like Percival, will just tap on your glass to let out the giant ant swarm.
Who the fuck is Percival?
Good fucking question. The name he said.
Does that
God, I
sound
don't-
familiar at all?
I mean, you might know Percival, but nothing relating to this case really jumps out.
And we don't know the name of or what was the first name of
Victim?
simulacrums? The name of simulacrum's boss.
Oh, let me go look at the.
It definitely was not Percival, though. Just to confirm that.
Sorry, Connor, which is kind of funny that there was a Connor in the group.
Yeah.
Dr.
So
Connor
it's not
Nevin.
him, but
Nevin.
It's a potential lead at the very least. Someone who's
yes, it
pissed.
is.
Someone who's pissed off knuckle bones to come out of retirement.
Well, I guess if they're.
Oh, no, not Meg. She doesn't operate here.
So.
Meg. Oh, sorry.
I'm going to look into the. I'm going to look into it, see if there's any. Perhaps among the vultures, there's somebody known as Percival.
Maybe. God, this stuff still.
Suze looks visibly shaken.
If
I'm
you've
sorry,
got any-
ma'am, for bringing this to your door, but I needed to know.
No, it's good because I'm probably one of the few people alive still who can really emphasize how bad this is.
Well, what can you tell us about him?
Yes, when was he last active?
He was last active when we killed him in the 70s.
I'm sorry, what?
We killed him. Our previous group, after he killed several of us, we killed him. We took our revenge. We drug him out into the sunlight. We burned his flesh and bones down to ash. He comes back.
No, he.
As you said, he's a cursed creature.
I think it was.
Wait here.
I think it was
Wait here.
Leandros who said he was a living curse.
Wait
Curse of
here a
soup.
moment, and she shuffles back into like one of the back rooms. But continue. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh no, you're fine. So he's probably some sort of a living curse, where it's you can push it away, you can kill it, you can do everything mortal to it, but ideas can outlive the body. And when you get into the worlds we get into, he says, once pulling up the little flame and flicking it between his fingers almost anxiously, Well, you get into some fucky shit.
Hey, no lighters in here. You hear
Nope.
the teenager. You didn't see
Sorry.
what it was. He just saw like a flicker of flame. All right.
Sorry.
And then he gives you he squints his eyes. Not really. You can't be asked to actually stand up, but then he immediately gets immersed back into whatever he's watching. Sorry, I couldn't help you.
No, it works. I like it.
It's funny.
It helps
So-
diffuse the tension.
Although
Helps
he might he probably might know about magic, honestly.
But it's funnier that we don't know.
He's just too oblivious and doesn't care. Notice.
So
Yeah, my grandma could do magic.
the big thing is either they killed a Bloody Bones or they defeated Bloody Bones, but he's got some sort of curse that brings him back constantly, something you can't kill. Attachment to something that is more permanent than death can take, which, we do have a superorganism beneath us that defies all traditional sense of science and logic.
I hate to say it, but you are 100% correct, Carlos. Sue says that you didn't hear her return really, but she kind of steps forward.
Old ladies are just like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Olivia has
She
like a
goes-
very thoughtful look on her face.
I know we killed him, and there's like a little dusty shoebox, and she lifts it up, and there's like assorted like little bits of memorabilia. It looks like some not Polaroids. Actually, no, were there Polaroids in the 70s?
Yes.
In the 60s? Yeah, so there would be like photographs and stuff, and like some other things, a couple of letters, and it looks to be like letters, and then a couple of vials or like glass jars, but she picks up this one, and it's looks oddly out of place as she lifts it up, as it's a very fancy silver little. Oh, she would recognize it. It looks to be like a little silver holy reliquary, and very detailed silver framework, but there's like glass. And she lifts it up, and there is an oversized human tooth inside.
Ha!
We killed him as dead as something can be killed. And then several years later, I don't know how long he came back, but he came back out of. He was seen back in the superorganism, and from my own history and my own search into history. She wouldn't say my own history, but my own search into history of this town. He's been killed before, and she
Didn't
pulls out
Calamity...
of the. Yeah, exactly. She goes, yes, exactly, and she pulls out like a very well-preserved little dime novel of the Adventures of Calamitous Case Corv, and she goes, the murders of the skinned man.
Oh,
She holds up this little thing and hands it over.
I think I'm pretty sure I've read that one.
Be careful with this one. It's the first printing, and it's probably one of a kind now.
I'm not touching that. I'm afraid it'll crumble. I'm afraid it'll crumble to dust.
Oh no, it's quite well preserved. It's just.
It's just a 50-year-old book. Be kind to it.
Oh no, this is closer to 18 something. She looks at it.
Oh, so it's actually older than I am. Yeah.
No, this is like original run dime novel.
Oh,
Squints at Carlos.
I didn't lie to you. I told you how old I was.
How old are you?
86.
Well, you're a lot better
Not
looking than
long.
my 86. Damn.
We'll come back.
She
to this.
seems legitimately impressed. It's like, I must have researched the wrong fields. She kind of gives a laugh.
We'll come back to that.
I try to hope it's not the murders, but we're not going to worry about that right now.
Ominous. Yes. Did she? The momentary levity. She seems she likes it, even though she kind of the smile is slightly there as she turns back. She goes, "Yes, dear."
Do you know anything about Amazon?
The yes, the Bat God. Yes. What about him?
I don't suppose anything's relevant there to our current situation?
Mm, well, Camazotz was considered the protector of the underworld, and if Rawhead Bloody Bones is descendant of, or a entity of the quite literal underworld, she kind of gestures to the ground in a figurative and literal sense, and sometimes curses are quite literal. So, shrugs. If you can find a way to invoke him, that might be useful, but there's a lot of danger in invoking old gods like that. Some aren't too happy that they are no longer in power and they lash out.
Gotcha. Good to know.
Yeah, do not ever contact Miklin Kutle. We consider there might be a tie between him and Rawhead, but no, they're. I butchered the name. Miklin Kutle. They are the god of butchery.
Ah, okay. Huh, great.
But in the sense that when they were worshipped, butchery in the sense of, agriculture.
Oh, okay.
But also, there was the human sacrifice thing too. It's complicated and not my place to really talk about it. So
yeah. Fuck. We're dealing with Rawhead Bloody Bones directly.
yes, it's not good news for anyone.
At the very least, he's not controlling the swarms. The swarms seem to actively fear him. No. He is just causing escapades.
Oh, so that's one way you can tell if he. That's actually one way we've discovered that you can sometimes tell if he's nearby. Animals panic around his presence. It's like they can smell the curses off of him, and also maybe just because he's a flayed-skinned person who is constantly rotting and oozing.
So what does
kind of makes a grimace.
What does he want? He's going after poachers, as far as we can tell, and causing.
He's wanted many things when we dealt with him, and very little of it made sense.
But is he like a thing? He's not like chaos.
He's vengeful,
incarnate, right?
No. He likes to cause chaos and confusion, it seems. It just, maybe it entertains him, but when we dealt with him, it was acts of vengeance on both sides. Someone I knew betrayed him, and I'm not comfortable talking about that. But vengeance is important to him. And he seemed to be proud of us for gaining ours as we were dealing the final blows. She kind of turns away, and there's this fairly repressed shudder, and it's kind of hard seeing an old woman just suddenly gripped with apparently very strong memories.
See her age all of a sudden.
She goes, "My friends said it was like a teacher proud at seeing their student graduate." But
So
if
what do
he
we
is
do?
actively working against someone, he had. You said there was someone named Percival involved in this? Or wait, no. He said this. Whoever this Percival is earned his ire, and that means he is
So,
doomed.
but if this Percival is a poacher of some kind, it's possible he pissed off Bloody Bones by going down into the superorganism, right?
Possibly,
Could
he's
be.
not territorial though. That's.
Well, I mean, I don't mean just stepping foot down there. I mean, he did something down there that pissed him off.
I mean, if it's poachers of the superorganism, we had to deal with some of those before, and you know.
Hey, random thought, just to make sure. Percival's not the name of the boss of Pluripotent, right?
It's
Right,
not.
Hanzo? Good.
The CEO. Hold on, I need to remember. No, the CEO is Kieran.
Yeah.
It
Okay,
is
good.
It's Kieran Fossick Jr.
he is the brother of Lucille.
Lucia, yeah. Lucia and Emil, the twins, are the younger siblings of Kieran Jr., the current CEO. After Kieran Sr. disappeared.
Yeah.
Okay, just
Whoever this Percival is, it's not no one I know about public. Whether that is pluripotent or otherwise.
God, I could probably I probably know a Percival, but none that would be involved in any of this.
Yeah, the only Percival that really instantly comes to mind is, she kind of giggles. Boy, I knew back in high school. I think he became a clockmaker.
What? Wait, where's he live?
Oh, like back in Connecticut.
Oh,
I moved
okay.
here.
Okay.
Is there something about clockmakers I didn't know?
No, but like any lead is anything.
Oh, okay.
I'll look into it.
No, and also I think he passed away. Before he ended up passing away from last I heard. But no, it's definitely not him. It's just I want kind of shy. Looking for moments of levity in this. This is
Yeah.
so
Okay, so
if you have any wards, make sure they're strengthened tonight. I don't know if they'll
That's
do
what
anything.
I'm definitely going to do, and I'm making sure him and his mother can stay with me for the night.
you have our numbers, right?
No.
Well, Ruleville
But
might
you
hurt
exchange
now.
numbers. Okay.
Yeah.
As
if,
will
if,
Hanzo.
if he
And
shows
Carlos.
up, give us a call. We'll fucking do something. I don't know.
Miss Parr. I can tell how difficult this is for you, but do you believe that this could be the same entity you fought, or perhaps this is a new incarnation?
I think it is a new incarnation of the same entity.
We don't have a lot to work off of right now, but perhaps this Percival figure was a poacher left behind in the superorganism, and that need for vengeance has taken root.
Can that happen? Can someone become?
It's a curse.
That is a terrifying thought, but his ire was directed at whoever this Percival was.
And for the sound of it, the living curse part is that he is.
Yes, do not. When she looks to you, Carlos, be careful using supernatural abilities with him. Curses. You've guessed it. He is something of a living curse. He has so many curses wound up into the shape of what used to be a man.
Sometimes.
He is the thrice thousand cursed king. As not he want to say king. He's the thrice cursed. No, damn it, I'm getting my games mixed up.
Yeah.
Damn it, Vivi. He is the thousand cursed. Yeah, he is the thousand cursed.
Okay.
Well, from
And please
my
take
own.
this. And she hands the dime novel over to Carlos.
Well, you helped us with the Kasha. We know just how powerful vengeance is as a motivator, especially when it comes to curses and magic.
Yes, and there was a point where we nearly decided to wake the Kasha up and aim it at him to see if he could burn it, or to see if it could burn him away. And that is my advice. Flame, if you do find yourself cornered, Flame, for all its simplicity, does work on him.
Oh, that's
As you
really
said, if he is the boogeyman, of course. Fire.
And sunlight. He will never. We had to drag him into the sun.
Sunlight
know.
and fire. You're great. That's good input.
Sunlight didn't kill him, but it
Made him
seems to
vulnerable.
blind and weaken him. He has no eyelids here.
Well, thank you very much. Hoped that my suspicion was, but
Okay, so what? Do you have a game plan now?
Find Percival, I guess, before Bloody Bones finds him.
Can somebody drop me off at home so I can get my truck?
So, a momentary thing. Hanzo, there's a lot of noise on your end. Just
Hold
for
up.
a second. So, Hanzo or Carlos.
Mhm.
There was still that glitch. Immediate unwelcome attention. As you hear the four of you kind of freeze as you just hear this.
Oh,
same thing that he was humming.
Oh, fuck no.
Now,
what's that?
I hope you can accept my good intentions here. I think we can help each other out. Bring me Percival, and you can have them back.
Who?
Don't, and they will be my playthings for eternity.
Get
So
who
he's
back?
speaking directly through the.
No, this voice is coming from somewhere in the store.
Oh, yeah, that's what I thought. Olivia's like head, looking here and there.
Suze is looking. She's gone completely pale, her eyes wide. She's just looking around in a mild panic. And she goes,
Carlos
And
head
then the
immediately whips to where the kid was.
he's just sitting there, oblivious.
Oh, thank fuck.
And you hear the voice go, "Dear Susie, you've earned your respite from me. Don't fear. You and your family have earned my respect. You have nothing to fear from me.
What do you want?
I want Percival.
Who is Percival?
Broke his word.
What?
Let
He broke
it
his word.
talk.
We've
Yeah,
already pieced it together, just like that broken glass.
Yeah, Hanzo's got a
vulture.
hand on Olivia. It's just let it run its mouth.
Isn't it fitting? You bring the carrion king a vulture? The vulture? Bring me Percival. and you can have the 2 back.
2.
Okay.
What 2?
No answer.
If we acquire Percival, when we acquire Percival, where?
There's no answer.
Fuck.
Seems he has moved on. And Suze is like, she literally has to go and very heavily sit, like shakily lowers herself down into like one of the antique chairs that are just nearby.
Carlos is
Olivia, like,
helping.
Rushes
Like
over,
breathing heavily.
Rushes over, helps her sit down.
If it will improve her mood at all, he's gonna turn on all available lights.
Do what? Oh, lights.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just any light switches there are, he's flipping them.
Yeah. They would be up by the register, and yeah, he just like looks at you, gives you a weird look as you reach across and flip them, and she's like, ah, okay, whatever. Grandma's not yelling, so.
Yeah,
And,
'cause Grandma's
somewhere where
having a
you sat down-
PTSD episode.
Yeah, where you can't exactly see through the clutter of the store where his grandma's having an attack. Otherwise, he would. I'm not saying he's like neglectful of his grandma. You get the feeling that maybe he's there more to keep her company,
Mhm.
but
So
she's like wiping
Good.
away tears that like butted at her, built up at the corners of her eyes.
Oh.
it sounds like he's not gonna mess with you. So hey, bonus.
And hey, if there's anything that you can trust from a curse, is this word.
He is cursed with honesty. He says honesty. Truth hurts. So, of course, he's cursed with honesty. He kind of gives this, like, sad laugh.
That might be. That's like one of the creepiest things that I've ever been a part of, I think.
We need to get moving.
So,
Find Percival before it does. Otherwise, whoever it's taken hostage is as good as gone.
and Carlos, actually, the rest of you would be able to hear this as there's that crackle of static from your headphones as it starts to play this. Sounds more like a recording, like a tape recording, than music. As you hear a pair of voices, children's voices, kind of in a sing-songy voice.
Oh.
Raw head, bloody bones, steals naughty children from their homes, takes them to his dirty den, and then they are never seen again.
No.
And Carlos, all 3 of you recognize that pair of voices.
No.
Let's find out.
Just
What
drop
the
me
fuck
it. Drop me at home. I need my van, please, or as close as you can.
And Carlos, that's when your beeper starts going off. There's like the emergency number it's like the code for like emergency at the diner.
Fuck.
Carlos is like, I need to go make a call, take her to her truck.
Tommy,
Yo.
were you still at the diner, or did you go back to your place as everyone split up?
I'd say he went back to his place.
Okay, so you were actually getting ready to leave, like you were finishing up your early dinner, I guess, because it was like mid-afternoon, and people have been away. There wasn't really much room for you because Winifred and Fred went on Winifred's bike to go pick up Fred's bike, so they were gone, and it's kind of crowded in the jalopy when it's 4 people in there, and there are times where even with 3 people, it starts sounding like don't want to stress it out, so you're just like, I'll hang out here. And it was then when you're getting ready to leave when the door slams open and you see the waitress like hurry over, and she's like looking over. She doesn't look to you, but she's like looks around the diner in like a kind of a mild panic, and then goes over, talks to one of the other waitresses. I'm trying to remember her name.
Tommy goes over. What's going on?
Tommy, have you seen my kids?
No. When
And
did you
Carla,
last see them?
They were here, for lunch earlier. They came when you guys showed up, or when you guys were leaving, and they had lunch and they went out, and they were supposed to be home when I got off shift because we had plans, but they're not home. Their bikes aren't home. It's like they never got home from here and drove around along the normal route from here. It's not far from home here. Home's not far from here. She's like getting a little panicked, and she goes. And by this point, Sandy, the other waitress, she's already the one. She's the one dialing Carlos on the beeper, and she goes, "But when she goes, their bikes are at home, but it's like I found these weird scratches on the pantry door in the garage. The bikes were in the garage where they're supposed to leave them, and then the pantry door by the garage, where you enter the house from the garage, that was wide open and stuff was scattered around it, and there's these weird scratches, and I can't find the kids."
Yeah. All right, for right now, just breathe. Take a seat. Just do what you need to keep a cool head. That way we can work on finding your kids, and that way we can make sure you're safe too.
She kind of, it's almost like she's reluctant to sit down and take a break while her kids are missing, but she does relent, and she's like, okay, yeah. Okay, thank you, Tommy. And she grabs her hand. She goes, you helped find them before. They said you helped save them. Please.
Yeah, and we'll find them again. Don't worry.
And I think that's where we'll end for the night.
No.
Okay.
Damn, I
A
wanted
little
to do
bit
a thing.
early, but it feels perfect.
Mm-hmm. Rawhead, Layhide's coming in, stealing your kids.
Those fucking kids always getting into
I
mischief.
know.
God, it's like Zoe all over again.
How many times we gonna rescue you kids? Jesus!
She was the meddling kid. What do you want from her?
No, it's the twins, the boy and the
I
girl,
know.
Manny and Rio.
Yeah, no.
I remember those
It
twins.
was like Jay was like Zoe all over again. I was like, he
Yeah.
was the meddling kid. What do you want from her?
Zoe should have taken that mundane ability where you get experience points for wandering off alone.
God, yeah, she'd have
Because
gotten
you do that
even
naturally.
more busted.
Okay.